Hey guys, welcome back to StabilityWOD. I want to talk about a functional movement today in the context of the low trap, because this is one of the most important movements where the low trap really has to be involved to get the position of your shoulder blades right for it to go well and for you to make progress and get stronger. I remember I started practicing this movement maybe 8 years ago. My first CrossFit client was working on this, working on the overhead squat, and I said, I need to figure out what this guy's doing. I need to go to my gym and I need to practice this. And I got like a 25-pound, maybe 35-pound barbell over my head, and I thought my arms were gonna break off my body. Now, to be fair, I was an endurance athlete at the time, didn't have a ton of upper body strength, but what I thought was amazing was as I started to practice this movement, it wasn't so much that I was getting stronger, although I think that was part of it. My legs were plenty strong to do the movement. I think getting stronger was part of it in my arms, but finding the right position is what turned out to be the most important part of the overhead squat. So let me show you what I learned. All right, you guys, I thought I'd challenge myself to do most of this video to keep it short with the barbell over my head. But first I want to show you what happens when you're grabbing a barbell and your hands have to face forward to grab the barbell. If you can't disassociate what's happening with your shoulder from what's happening with your hand, the shoulder will shrug and internally rotate on both sides. You'll end up here. In an ideal world, what has to happen is you externally rotate your shoulders, firing the back of your rotator cuff, infraspinatus teres minor, and also firing your lower trap. It actually takes work away from your upper trap to get into this position. Now, if the barbell wasn't there, my thumbs would be pointing backwards, just like on the crossover symmetry video yesterday. My palms might even be facing backwards if I was really screwed into position in a stable position with nice form closure. This does not take a lot of muscular strength to do this. It's muscular awareness and intention. So all I have to do then to get my hand back on the barbell is pronate my forearm. I'm just rotating from my elbow down. My shoulders stay in this screwed in position as my forearms face forward. So let me show you how this looks with the barbell. All right, we're gonna pop this bar overhead. You're gonna see that if I'm in the wrong position, my upper trap's overfiring, my lower trap's underfiring, and my rotator cuff is actually half working here, I can still squat to the bottom, but I'm using a lot of muscular power and my shoulder's in a very unhealthy position. The labrum is strained, there's impingement, et cetera, et cetera. If I take my shoulders and externally rotate them, screw them into position, you can see how much longer my neck is. You can see my upper trap is not firing as much as it was. And my lower trap, my mid-back, is actually where I feel this, in addition to my rotator cuff. Now, if I squat in this position, I feel much more integrated. I have much more tension through my mid-back, through my shoulder blades, and I can support so much more weight overhead in this position. Now notice that when I screw into position and the coach says active shoulders, there's nowhere to go. That's just the intention of me reaching through the bar so it doesn't fall on my head, keep my elbows locked. If I'm here, I'm not intentional about screwing into position and the coach says active shoulders, that's where I go. Suddenly I'm back in this unhealthy shoulder position. So I like to say that the active shoulder cue is the intention of reaching up through the bar. But once you've taken up all the slack into this position, there's really nowhere to go. Much healthier, much stronger, much more stable. Now, I'm not shirtless in the gym very often, but for you guys, I do what I have to do. Here I'm going to show off my worst possible position where I'm shrugged, my neck's hyperextended, my shoulders are internally rotated. Does not feel good. Here you're going to see me correct. Look how much longer my neck gets. My head's in a better position. My shoulder blades are superiorly rotated to receive the weight through the bones, which means my skeleton and my forearm closure system, so my ligaments are doing more of the work. There's my good position. At the top I'm going to shrug. Watch the correction. I'm still active shoulders the whole entire time. My shoulder blades are just in a totally different position, and I'm moving much more efficiently this way. I can tell you it feels so much better. Here I am a few hours later putting theory into practice. This is rep 50 of 80 in this workout. Ready to run out the door, do some GHD sit-ups, and then back on the overhead squat. Every rep looks like the last.